call gate on that right there. Nigga, this ain't Monopoly. Hey, man. Roll again, bro. Clyde, you better unask me before you find yourself a pinky short. You better roll again before you find yourself an artery short. You're right on yourself, Clyde. Let's go get some fish.
Okay, come on,
That's what you want. Right, that's you bossing me right there. Oh, that's your ass right there.
Maybe if they don't have time, she can refill it though, baby. How about that? Yes, talk about love.
Climb baby. Hands up with the big dog now. Check my devil.
These fools are playing dice.
Ladies, get the tartar sauce and the hot sauce because the Jenkins family is about to go down.
Oh my God.
He started.
What the hip on now? What the hip on now? Damn! Oh, mama. You should have had more prenatal care. Look at your kids. I'm sorry.
What's going on, ladies and gents in Cyberland? Coming back to another film review. This time we're moving on to a comedy that has a lot of good points. It's funny, it's kind of quirky. Well, I don't know if quirky, but it has that southern funniness to it. Yeah. Welcome home, Rosecoe Jenkins. You know, every time I think of Rosecoe Jenkins, I don't know, it just pops in Leroy Jenkins from World of Warcraft, that whole incident. But anyway, this film is about Martin Lawrence, starring Martin Lawrence, has James Earl, oh my goodness, James Earl Jones, the late Michael Clark Duncan, Monique, what's his other name? Cedric the Entertainer. I forget his name, but he's done other films too. Mike Epps, got it. And the film is about Rosecoe pretty much being distant from his immediate family for years. And there's this southern family reunion, and he comes back, but he's still, you know, even though the film is a comedy, the film also is a drama, but not too serious until certain parts, because Rosecoe has a lot of demons, but they're not presented like demons like you would think, but he has a lot of animosity towards his family, low key because how you see these incidents of when he grew up, how he was treated by his siblings, and how he was treated by his parents, almost like he was pretty much the redheaded stepchild kind of thing. And he has resentment towards his family about that. He tries to be happy-go-lucky when he sees them, but the reality is he's not. Like, the longer he stays at his family's home, the more that everything's coming back. Whereas when he left, he was able to forget about all that and didn't have to be reminded of the scrutiny that every time he didn't achieve something, or he came up short or something, he was ridiculed. And I think that they don't. It's elaborated to an extent, and that's probably why he pretty much stayed away from his family. He just got tired of it. He could never just be accepted. It was always like, you're not good at this, you're not good enough or something. Whereas the rest of his family didn't have that same strain. And he has a huge animosity with Cedric the Entertainer's character for obvious reasons because of that. So he comes back, and he just, things that happened in the past are reignited kind of, but he tries to take it in stride, being a single father, and he comes with his fiance who's not very pleasant, and then he sees a woman he had interest in years ago, and tries to see, well, it doesn't start to rekindle, but something starts to rekindle with those two. And throughout the film, he kind of falls back into the same situations where he's kind of made a mockery of, or he gets into situations with Clyde, or situations with his sister or his older brother. So it's kind of interesting to see that. The film was entertaining. The story was straightforward. It was nice to see James Earl Jones. I hadn't seen him in a while. So it was nice to see him come in here, and he didn't really have to do much. It's just his persona and his voice was really enough at times, That was good. Mike Epps was being Mike Epps on the comedy side. So just think of Friday after next Friday, but toned down a little bit, but still kind of being sneaky and kind of a hustler and being up to no good. Michael Clark Duncan was good. He was almost like the seriousness of James Earl Jones, but more into a modern perspective about things. So that was cool to see. He was kind of like his dad, but not totally, just more modern. And then Monique was pretty much the other comic relief with her behavior and shenanigans, her being low-key 304. So wasn't anything I didn't like about the film. I thought it was funny. It's not. I didn't find it that funny. I would give it a 9 out of 10 yes sirs. But I like the story so much, that's why I give it a high rating. For me, comedy, my thoughts on what comedies are may be a lot different from what other people like. Certain films I laugh at that are technically not comedies, and people don't laugh at those, and I do. So it's one of those things where films that are considered comedies, I may not find them funny, whereas films that aren't comedies but have something in them that's totally dark in humor or really just off the wall of a situation, like more slapstick but serious, I find those funny. It's a good film. It has a lot of family ideals and guidance, words of wisdom, pretty much. So I would say, go ahead and check it out. You may find it funny as opposed to what I think was funny, so you just, I don't think you'd be disappointed, but it's a straightforward film. It's nothing too. There wasn't anything too surprising. There was one thing. Not surprising, but I would say this. This is a work of fiction. I would say when Rosecoe gets really pissed off and leaves, the reality is probably in reality he may have never come back. whereas in this is a film, so it was a little different, just because of the scars that he has with his family for what he went through. Some people say, well, that's nothing. People go through worse. Like, well, to him, that was a lot. So everybody's different. So with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care.